Thank you for tuning in today. My name is Roy Kirchner. I am the CEO of Ultimate 3D Printing Store. And boy, do I have a treat for you today. I have Mark Goetsch with BASF Forward AM, and he is a technical application specialist.
That is correct.
Great.
Pleasure to be here.
Thank you. How was, now where did you come from?
We have a facility in Detroit.
Okay.
That's where I'm at.
So now you're down in sunny Tampa, Florida.
It is. The weather's a little bit nicer here.
Nice.
Just a little.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah, I love Florida. I definitely love the sun. I could leave the cold behind. So
I like both. I like some seasons. I like some seasons, but I could definitely be a snowbird someday, for sure.
Now, how long have you guys had that facility in Detroit?
The facility opened up 2 years ago.
Okay.
So it's brand new.
Gotcha.
Right, Corktown, up and coming area, Detroit. It's really nice.
And I guess one of the reasons for this interview is I was humbled enough and have the opportunity to become the official distributor of BASF in the United States for their resin division.
Yeah, no, that's great. Happy to have you aboard. Glad it's going well. Just can't wait to grow and do more and more.
Yeah, so the biggest thing is the resin really hadn't been integrated. BASF's resin hadn't been integrated into the United States that much, and in 2023 we're looking to grow that significantly.
For sure, yeah, we've been working more with like printer manufacturers and that, and now we're getting more toward distribution to where we can get it to a lot more people, and that's where Ultimate 3D comes to help.
Yeah. Now, for people that don't know, believe it or not, there's quite a few people that don't know what or who BASF is. Can you kind of tell me a little bit about BASF?
So BASF is the world's largest chemical company. So we don't deal with anything that consumers usually see. Maybe your grandparents back in the day might be like, oh yeah, they made VHS tapes. That was probably the closest thing they ever did to something that would go direct to consumer. But basically BASF is in everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything. There's probably some material that's in your shoe, in your shirt, in the food you had for breakfast this morning. They're in agriculture doing, fertilizers, seed, coatings, they're literally in everything. So even though most consumers don't know who they are, they're very, very well known in the industry.
Absolutely, absolutely. And how long have you been with BASF?
With BASF, I've been 14 years. In 3D printing, I've been 6 years. I was 4 years in R&D for resins, where I was formulating, coming up with the resins that we're using today. And then the last 2 years, I've been dealing more with customers and helping with application development.
Okay. And, a lot of times people, they always know the word 3D printing, but they don't know additive manufacturing. On your side of the business, you're dealing with a lot of different people, a lot of different companies. What do you tend to see more, them say, 3D printing or additive manufacturing, considering it's the same thing?
Yeah, it's the same thing, but most people say 3D printing. It's kind of catchier, but a buzzword would be additive manufacturing. Okay. Right? That's like the fancy way to say it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you see a tendency more in the industrial side, they say additive manufacturing, or still 3D printing?
Yeah, no, industrial-wise, they like to say additive manufacturing, consumer-wise, and even when people are just generally talking, they say 3D printing.
Gotcha. Okay. And you said, how long have you been in the 3D printing side of BASF?
6 years.
Okay. And in that side, what do you typically, is it all resin is really your functionality and your skill level?
Yeah, my skill is all in 3D printing. In 3D printing, all my experiences with resins. Mm-hmm. But we also do have filament and powder. We're the one-stop shop for all your 3D printing needs.
Yeah.
That's one thing we can say.
So is it like you're a kid in the candy store up there in Detroit inside? got a lot of different things going on and a lot of different things to play with, right?
Yo, I got some toys. We at our facility, we are lucky to be able to all the different toys from filament to resins to powder. Like, it's a great lab. Yeah, it's very fun.
So in the last 5 years, what's one of the coolest things, I guess, if you had to pick, what's one of the coolest things that you've done or had the ability to be part of?
Mainly it's just solving people's problems, like helping, like you're like, oh, I need a material that can do this. I need temperature, I need, impact resistance, and then trying to solve that problem between, there's so many ways to do it. You can do it with material itself, but you can do it with design engineering. And there's so many different ways to fix the problem. I just really enjoy trying to come up with something that there isn't a fix for at the moment.
Nice. And we see it integrating tremendously more over the last couple of years. So
yeah, it's been good. It's definitely on a ramp up for being, especially with all the printers starting to be open source and more chemical companies are getting into, and they're really upping the game, like making better and better and better materials. Like every year it's growing real quick. And I think that's helped a lot get away from the old, in resin they were always brittle, not functional parts. They were just, pretty to look at. Now we're getting to the point where they're usable parts.
Now the resin line, what printers do you mostly see working with BASF resin? So
our resin works with basically any of your DLP or LCD type screens, anything that 385, 405 nanometer wavelength. So that'd be like your any printer ours will usually work with.
Okay. So to name some of them.
You can use a frozen, you can use a shining, you can use an origin, an EXA, XYZ, like you can use about anything.
Okay.
As long as it's an open system, you can use our resins.
So all that you're saying, you probably got all those up there, huh?
I have a lot of those, yeah.
So he gets to play with all of them.
Like I said, I have a lot of fun toys.
Definitely. Out of all the resins we're sitting in 2023, approximately how many resins do you have? Guessing that are on the market right now today.
Guessing over 20.
Okay. And what's your favorite one?
It's like picking your favorite kid.
Yeah. It's too hard.
Yeah, it's hard, but you always like the new stuff that comes out is always, exciting.
And you guys had launched some new stuff at Formnext at the end of last year, right?
Yeah, those are the two. Our RG3280, it's a ceramic filled resin that it's changing the game. It's very low viscosity, so it's very thin, so it's easy to print, and it's very reactive. So working with low power printers like Frozen or Shining or something like that, it prints fast.
Okay.
So that kind of gets rid of the issue of needing a really powerful printer to print, high-end resins. So it's kind of a game changer.
In that resin, what are three just off-the-wall applications you could use that resin for? What have you seen companies or businesses use?
It's a brand new resin, so we don't have a ton, but its general purpose would be molds, tooling, and like wind tunnel. Like it's a very strong rigid resin. And you don't need to sinter it like a lot of ceramic resins need to.
Wow.
It's pretty easy to clean up, but yeah, in general it's a really exciting new material.
Wow. And did you come out with any other ones?
The other one was ST7500 gray.
Okay.
That's again more of like a functional prototype resin, but it's fast printing. So like again, we're trying to go to more consumer, where a lot of them are seeing a lot of these lower power printers and be able to print quickly. So again, this is the same idea where it's be able to print faster with a good quality part.
Nice. And which we need right now, because we got supply chain problems, possible recession, looming, war. got a lot of things going on in 2023. So a lot of people can use 3D printing, additive manufacturing to help in day-to-day and solve issues.
For sure, yeah. A lot of, it's always compared to injection molding, which again, you're not, that's the way to do it if you're going to be making 100,000 or 1,000,000 parts. I mean, there's nothing to compete with that. But if you don't want to deal with getting a mold created and the time and the money to do that, if you only got to make 100 parts, yeah, just print them.
Yeah, so low volume production.
Yeah, low volume production is definitely where it's at, or customizing.
Yeah, or one-offs.
Yeah.
Something you can't find out there that you want to see. Or have you ever seen, I guess one of the things would be something is manufactured and let's say they make 50,000 of them, but they have a part, we had like a light, like an industrial light, and part of it had a defect, and then you didn't realize it until they started using it, like a light company here, and they were able to redesign that housing and make it stronger so that they could basically use it with that light, because going back to the manufacturer to redo all of them, to recall all of them is a lot. So
yeah, for sure. That's where that's the great thing about additive manufacturing. 3D printing is the only limit is really what you can think of.
And some of it is, even if you had like that housing for that light, you could actually add maybe another area to clip it on, different things, so you can customize it as well.
Exactly. Yeah, no, it's a fun industry to be in.
Yeah. So with yours, do you travel a lot?
It goes back and forth. I've been traveling a lot lately, between shows, visiting customers, distributors to help them, create a little content, a little buzz about our ultra-cure resins, and then also just helping them be comfortable with their material and, answer a lot of questions to be able to get it dialed in so they can get the ultimate performance out of our material.
Gotcha. And then do you travel worldwide?
A little bit.
What's some of the shows that you visit or go to?
The show-wise, it's mainly around in the States. It's AMUG, Rapid. I was just at the dental show in Chicago. Those are the main shows that I've been to. Like I said, we're a global company with a headquarters in Germany. So like Formnext and stuff like that, that's where our German team will come in. They have a giant booth there to get the word spread over on that side of the pond.
And for our guests that are watching, some of the shows that he talked about, AMUG is Additive Manufacturing User Group. It's one of the largest additive manufacturing, 3D printing spots that you can go to in the United States. And I think the largest one would be Rapid plus TCT, which the last couple of years, I think it's been in Detroit.
Yeah,
so
it was. Yeah,
haven't had to travel.
It was fun when I was in Detroit. We had a little party and had all the partners and stuff come over because we're right in Detroit. Get a little tour, have a good time.
Nice. And then I heard, did you hear already? Like Formnext is going to make some play to come to the United States.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, so they're actually for the first time ever, Formnext is going to put on a convention in Austin, Texas in August. So they just announced it. So
what's with this?
Yeah.
You go to Chicago in February, you go to Austin in August. We go there when nobody wants to go to these places.
Yeah, Austin in August is going to be a little hot.
Yeah.
And then Formnext is the largest 3D printing convention in the world, and that's in Frankfurt, Germany.
Yeah.
So, and to give the viewers an idea, how much bigger is Formnext than Rapid plus TCT?
I haven't been, but I've heard it's like multiple, like 4 times bigger, 10 times bigger, like it's giant.
Yeah, we're still seeing additive 3D printing kind of intertwine more into the United States. That's one of the reasons why we picked up your resin for 2023, and we're starting to see it integrate a lot more, because most of the resins for BASF before were sold like in the UK and other parts of the world.
Yeah, no, like I said, we're based, so most of our, the core of our group is in Heidelberg, Germany, but So we're growing here in the States, so we're just trying to spread the goodness.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything else you could think about that you would want to share with our guest?
Just, we're a large chemical company with great resources for, EH&S. That's like the health and safety of our materials.
Yep.
Gives you lots of good information, can help you out with any of your questions about where you'd have, if our materials okay to use in these certain applications or not.
Yep.
And we've been around for 150 years, and we
were actually talking about the helping the earth. Some of it's biodegradable, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a bio-based material that hopefully we'll be coming out with soon.
Nice.
But we're sustainability and all that, and BASF they're trying to be a global leader and push, like it's a big deal to BASF to be sustainable and trying to create this, circular motion going on to, use less energy, try to reuse stuff more often. It's definitely a big deal for BASF.
Yeah, and it's a big deal for all of us, explaining to, definitely small, medium, large businesses, Fortune 500, Fortune 1000 businesses that haven't integrated 3D printing or additive manufacturing, how much time and money it can save them, and how much it can help with resources and different things of that nature as well.
Oh, for sure. It can be, like I said, it's a time saver. For sure, like where you can go from idea to having a part in your hand in a day. Like, where else can you do that?
No, that's why I got into it, believe it or not, is you can draw something on a napkin and make it come to life very quickly. Never be able to do that before, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, it used to take a team of people. Now you can do it all yourself, it's great.
Yeah, and that was one of the decisions I made to get into this is I was actually watching Bloomberg TV, and I think it was the owner of Tumblr had just sold it to like Google or something like that. And I was in a hotel room and I was getting ready to take a shower, and I pop on the TV, and the question they ask him is, what do you do in your spare time? And he says, what I do is I do 3D printing. And he goes, it's great. I can think of an idea and make it come to life right away. And this was back in like 2014. So I definitely knew it was something that was going to change the world, for sure.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's fun. It's a fun story how you got into it. Yeah, it was the same thing. BASF was starting up the 3D printing group, and I'd been in a coatings group for 10 years, and I was like, man, that sounds interesting and like innovative. Like, I want to get in on that. So that was my same thing. I was just like, it's an exciting new thing, and I was like, I want in.
Well, we're definitely, the other thing too is we're always here to help businesses understand the technology, how they can save time and money with it, and always, like you said, one of the biggest things you like is pushing the limit. Mm-hmm. Somebody has something that we need to solve, try to figure out the tolerance levels and different things like that.
Yeah, no, and I'm here to support you guys to help your people. So
I appreciate it.
It's good to see everyone succeed, from your customers to you to me. Like,
yeah,
that's the whole point.
We got a long way to go.
Yes, we do, but it's going to be fun.
All right, well, guests, thank you for tuning in, and we're going to sign off, so I appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks.
Have a great day.
You too.